And then just let me know like the audio levels and stuff.
Right. Just let me know when we live. Oh, we are live. Officially official. We are in there. My people, my people. Welcome to the Xbox Developer Direct 2025 live reaction. In here doing some testing on the ones and twos, Jeffrey. We're live. We just hit the button. I think it's officially official. Joined here today by Jeffrey and Loon. Loon is working the ones and twos over there on his end, and for anybody in the audience, if there's any feedback you want to give us, that's kind of what we're taking this 20 minutes to look through. But I'm looking on my end, Loon. Everything looks pretty good.
Can you hear the direct, like the music that's playing? It's not very loud, don't get me wrong. It's kind of like a background music. I'm just making sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
And then obviously when things start getting rolling and the videos start playing, that's more important to actually hear it.
Of course.
So if we're drowning the audio out of the video or vice versa, obviously just let me know and I'll try and
and that's an easy
fix
thing
it,
that
man.
you can swap to that pretty easily, right? Where you can just turn up the volume and all that.
I mean, I have like a bunch of little dials here, yeah. I can just
Perfect.
mess around with.
Perfect. Because I'm assuming people, when it gets to the good stuff, people are going to want to hear that Ninja Gaiden has officially been revealed and hear that swelling music. All right, so we got this rough setup here, Jeffrey. My idea was to show our screens to Loon so that we can all see that we're lined up with the timer. Or well, you're probably watching yours on your computer, right?
Yeah, we should. I mean, since it is a live thing, Loon already said, since it's a live thing, it's not going to not sync up.
Yeah,
it's already going to sync up automatically. So,
well, that as well, and I'm always going to be 9 seconds ahead of you, just because of how things work. Because I'm looking at it right now on my screen. What I'm watching, I'm at 19:35 as a countdown.
Okay.
So
I mean,
I think
it's going to be close enough. It's fine.
It's like 5 seconds ish.
We'll figure
it's
it
all
out.
good.
I'll spoil everything.
Because on mine, I think I'm ahead of you. I'm at 19:12 right now.
Oh god. All right.
Refresh it to
we
see
can
if
refresh it all together.
Yeah.
All right. Are we ready?
Yeah.
In 3, 2, 1, let's go. Oh, it didn't autoplay. Oh.
I mean, it's going to be close. I think it'll be okay.
Yeah.
It's more important than what the audience is going to be seeing. So,
As long as it's like a few seconds. Have we closed the gap?
Yep, I'm at 1840, 1839.
Yeah, that's a lot better than what it was previously. Cool.
have we already welcomed everyone? I didn't realize you guys went live when I wasn't even here, which was really great. Thank you for that. What a smart idea to go live when not everyone's there. Appreciate that. That's fun. So yeah, we should make this so we're not just randomly doing nothing. So what are we doing here? Let's engage. Let's have some fun here. If people are watching this back after, especially, we don't want to just sit here like hooligans.
Well, I wanted to run the test before we began everything and just kind of let the audience roll in and see if there was any feedback they had on the audio end or anything like that before we get started with the actual event. So I'm checking that, making sure that everything's good on that end. So it seems like
once we get some people in the live chat, I guess, you can let everyone know how we're going to go about chatting, because we want everyone to feel like they're here and feel bad. Look, speaking of, Panda Grog is here.
Yeah.
Panda Grog, yo, what's going on? Welcome to the chaos.
What it do, my friend? Yeah, and let us know, y'all in the chat, let us know if the audio levels are, when the show gets started, if they need to be upped or dropped or anything like that. But I also had a little game for us to play if you guys wanted to Panagrog says I still have zero idea what the new game thoughts. That's actually what we're gonna dive into that right now, because that was I jotted down some predictions, some questions that I wanted to hit y'all with before the developer direct starts, to see if y'all have any ideas for what that mystery game, the legacy, the legendary Japanese title, the question mark on that card, what could that be? Did y'all have any predictions for that one?
I feel like I've done zero. I know nothing about this developer direct other than what you've told me. So normally I pay attention to these, but for some reason I just haven't. So I literally just don't even know what they're theoretically showcasing here. Is it just like the first party studios? Is it going to be new reveals? Is it just updates? Like, I literally don't know anything. So what info do we have?
I think it's a little bit of everything, because I think Claire Obscure is meant to be making an appearance, which that's not first party, and it's not funded first party, is it? Either, like,
no,
not funded third party. I mean,
no, I don't believe so.
So I think it's a little bit of everything, and then the thing that's got most people hooked and like interested is they hinted that at the very end, when they were showing when the date would be announced, it would be a renowned developer of like Japanese, so like something either, because I was like like you, I don't, like, obviously that opens Pandora's box, that could be literally anything, but it's meant to be hinted that it's like a renowned series, so it's not going to be like a brand new IP supposedly.
All right, here's my guess. I don't know if this even fits into the ballpark at all, but I'm going to go with, it's going to be Konami developing games again, not just giving them out, and it's going to be Castlevania then.
That would definitely fit legendary.
I mean, that's a legendary series in terms of how long it's been around. So I'm going to go Konami actually developing. I'm not saying that means it'll be good, of course, because that's why they're handing out the reins. So Konami, new Castlevania game, legendary IP, coming to Game Pass, coming to whatever. I'm going to go, they're going to go with the safe bet of a 2D game, because that's still the safe bet for Castlevania, unfortunately. So that's my guess. What about you guys?
I think I got to stick with Ninja Gaiden, man. I threw it on there for the thumbnail. I think I got to roll with it at this point. I mean, I have some other theories, but Ninja Gaiden is the one I'm locking in. It just feels right. The 2D game coming back. Obviously, there's some interest in the franchise. If they're even dabbling with the 2D thing, why not go back to your roots? OG Xbox, the Ninja Gaiden ties are strong. Do we feel a revival coming for Ninja Gaiden in 2025? I say yes. Loon, what do you say, my friend?
It's so difficult, man. It's so difficult. Because like years ago, well, I say years, like 2 years ago, for instance, it would have been probably easier to guess, because they were getting pally with like fairly specific developers. Like they were targeting like RGG and stuff like that, and it'd be like, oh well, it's easy. They're probably working with them, but they've really kind of branched out a lot more. Like they've meant to have stuff working with Kojima. They've got obviously very heavy ties now with Sega and all their games through RGG and stuff, and Persona, of course. And then we don't know, like, they still don't have their own official, like, self-funded first party like JRPG stuff. So like, it could be something that, like you said, like, for instance, like a Ninja Gaiden, that they could end up... Who owns Ninja Gaiden? It is Xbox, right?
No, it's, if I'm not mistaken, it's still Koei Tecmo, right?
Wow.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I don't think that's gone out.
Okay. Because that's what would get me more excited than anything, is something that they personally own. That's why I would like nothing more than like a Lost Odyssey sequel. And the thing is that what kind of picks that thought like to pieces though is that it's meant to be a franchise, is what was like hinted at or speculated heavily. But then where do you draw the line with that? If they're announcing that it's going to be a sequel to Lost Odyssey, that would then therefore make it a franchise, right? If there's two games.
I mean, it's not a new IP then, yeah. Even if it's been a while, it's still an old IP technically, right? So,
man,
I don't know. I'll live in the fantasy realm. Give me Lost Odyssey 2, man. Fuck it.
Well, Panda's in your boat because Panda says there was an RPG in the last a JRPG in the on something about a last showcase that there's maybe a possibility for a JRPG. L Walker's here, says hi. Hello, L Walker. Welcome. Glad to have you.
What up, L Walker?
Go ahead, Brandon.
We might be some walking L's here today, my friend. As
Wah, wah.
we're making some predictions, so we might be off. Will Doom be given a release date window? If so, what will that date be? Loon.
May.
Doom. May.
It's gonna be mid to late May. And my thought process behind that is Doom doesn't need a big like run up towards its release. It never has. They've kind of dropped it. And a lot of Bethesda titles kind of have like short. It's very rare that they have like long-winded things like Starfield did,
Or Elder Scrolls 6.
yeah. But you have stuff like Rage 2, like Wolfenstein. They just kick these out the door fairly quickly. And Doom doesn't really need like you can show 50. Like the more trailers you show, the more I think the less excited people are going to get for it. If anything, it's kind of that counterproductive thing. It's like they just want to get in there. Like you don't need to show us anything. We're already invested. Just get it out. And I think by doing like a mid-May release date, that'll do them well. Because it gives them a little bit of leeway to push it back if they need to.
Yeah. Jeffrey, what you thinking for the new Doom? I mean, we got a good bit of gameplay for it. You thinking that we could see that pretty soon?
I mean, May makes sense. Yeah, I would say a summer release, probably June through August, would make sense. Just a good summer action game. I know summer depends on what part of the world, of course, but summer for a lot of us. So, yeah, I'm going to go with June. Just a nice little June drop. What about you? What are you thinking, Brandon?
I think Panda makes some sense there with April. I think April maybe even makes a little sense because we also have South of Midnight, and we've seen quite a bit of gameplay on that bad boy. If South of Midnight is given a release date, what are you thinking that will be, Loon?
I think that that's something that can get pushed back and nobody would really mind all that much. Because what I'm envisioning is they want to stack up on the early half of this year. That's why I'm saying like May. You want these opening 6 months to be nothing but like hit after hit after hit after hit, and then you can ease off a little bit and drop like a South of Midnight. Not to say that's going to be a worse game, but it's got nowhere near the hype that a Doom has and stuff. So I don't know, maybe a September drop for that.
I think South of Midnight looks really, really good, man. Like I think this has sneaky game of the year potential. Not, necessarily winning, but in the running. What are you thinking, Jeffrey, for South of Midnight? I feel like that might be one you're into. Smaller scale, kind of has that focus home energy to it in some sense.
Yeah, if anyone sees me keep looking down, it's because I'm trying to look at the comments on my phone, so I apologize. But yeah, L. Walker, actually speaking of South of Midnight, says, you never know, this might be the one that helps Xbox. The game I'm interested in the most is South of Midnight, and personally I'm hoping they release it on PlayStation, which, again, as we know, they probably will at some point, or even day and date. Yeah, I would say a fall release. The vibes of this game give it sort of like a fall kind of spooky time. I know it's not a horror game, of course, but it has that kind of... Little Nightmares-ish vibe. I don't know. I'm not sold on this game only because, although to your point, Brandon, the whole smaller AA feel or whatever looks great, the movement and animation style, the way it almost, it's not stop motion, but the way like everything moves in strange frames, I don't know if that jives with me. It kind of makes me a little bit dizzy. The way like it's kind of, it's very unique and awesome, but I don't think that is going to be for me personally. But I would say fall, maybe a good September, October. Yeah, kind of like Loon said.
You can turn it off, just to let you know.
Oh, really?
It's toggleable. The only thing it can't be turned is in cutscenes. Cool. In cutscenes, it will still play that, but in gameplay, you can roll with that as an animation, or it's an accessibility feature.
Well, look at that. That's all, man. You know what? That's so cool. Like every game needs nowadays, I think, to have those accessibility options. Where, it's funny. This is a tangent, but like when Animal Well, one of the reasons I didn't play Animal Well when it first came out was because everything it showed in trailers was the old like scan lines. And I hate scan lines because they make me dizzy, but I didn't know you could turn off scan lines, and you can. It's such a small thing, but every game should have those options. But anyway, that's just complete shenanigans. So that's cool.
I think I'm going to stay first half for South of Midnight. I'm going to go June. I think they're really stacking up that first half. Let's rapid fire run through these. We got about 7 minutes left. Expedition 33 release date ? If so, when? I'm going to say August, sticking right there to that idea of before we get into the fall and the winter season, like still feeling like, damn, they are packing us full of content in these early months of 2025. So, which August not necessarily early month, but you know what I mean. Before that fall season, before that holiday season hits us.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, that seems like a good kind of end of summer. Again, I know it depends where you are, but that seems like one of those good mid-year-ish games to get people like hyped for what they have for the rest of the year. Plus, that game just looks solid all around.
Absolutely.
What do you think, Loon?
I'm thinking October, November. I think it's a game to close out the year with. October, especially October. Get it in October so that it can be nominated and stuff. Don't do what you did with Indie and get past that 15th of November cutoff date and kind of shoot yourself in the foot. Because it doesn't matter how good Indie does on PlayStation this year. There's no way that gets nominated for anything for this year.
No.
You've kind of wasted its praise that it was deserved. So I'd go with October.
Well, sticking right there with Indy, will Indiana Jones, the PS5, will we see a release date given here for Indiana Jones? For the PS5 release date?
I don't think you'd do it here. This is way too early. I think
It's
you
also-
want to start off the year strong with your own developer direct showing your stuff. And try and build that up a little bit, and then whatever comes after this, throw that in. Whatever the next showcase that Xbox does.
That would be a bit backwards for them to highlight, specifically highlight. I know they're trying to push their games out, but talk about a weird. That would be so odd and almost make people who love Xbox be like, why? This isn't the place for it. Just drop a trailer. You don't do it in your own thing. That's so odd. So
Okay.
yeah.
Jeffrey, I don't think I got you on the board for Expedition 33, did I? What
Yeah, I said
release date
August.
were you- Okay, you did. Okay,
But-
so we're in the same boat there.
I do want to say L. Walker brings a good point because of GTA 6. Every game needs to release later, so April onwards, in my opinion. Yeah, if GTA 6
Yeah.
does come out this year, so many things are going to have trouble fighting that.
Yeah.
I mean, some things at least.
Yeah, if you're not Call of Duty, man, I mean, you probably need to plan around Grand Theft Auto 6 or, College Football 26 or the big behemoths. But, yeah, definitely avoid that orbit. Will Oblivion be revealed? The Oblivion remake that has been rumored, will that be revealed here?
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
I'm not sure if it'll get a release date, because I think that's a little bit too early. Even though some people are kind of hinting that it's dropping this year.
You think it's too early? I think this is going to be one that actually comes out in the next couple months.
In the next couple of months, I think this would be an end-of-year close-off thing. To be honest,
Really?
I think you don't really want to put this near Avowed. That'd be really stupid.
Yeah.
I think give Avowed, it's already a hard enough release window for Avowed to make itself
Touche.
known. Have Avowed in February, and then mimic that with the opposite end of the year for Oblivion.
That's a good point.
Outer
Give it,
Worlds, though.
plenty of breathing room.
Outer Worlds
the end
2,
of the
yeah.
year. I mean,
Yeah, true.
that's they might not really have a great window for any of this. They just have a packed year, an absolutely packed year. I'm going to say we don't see Oblivion here. I think that's the summer showcase, and I think we might get that in 2026.
Oh damn.
Okay,
Interesting. Well,
I want to ask y'all this very wide sweeping question. Will we see a PlayStation 5 or a Nintendo logo at any point throughout this show? I should have tied that to the indie, but
I would say no. Again, it just doesn't. It's just so backwards in a developer direct. You do that in a trailer. Do that in a specific E3 or Game Awards thing. Why would you do that in your own thing? That just doesn't make sense. It's just not logical. But it is Xbox. They're not logical anymore. So
I'm going to say my
They've done
only
it though,
reasoning.
right?
yeah,
I'm not sure. My only reasoning for this is we know Doom is coming day and date to PlayStation. We know that Outer Worlds is coming day and date to PlayStation. So if either of those games, do we see it at the end screen? I would think probably not. I agree, Jeffrey. Just let PlayStation handle the marketing for that. Don't do it at your own show, but it is something I'm very curious about.
You will. If they show them
You
things,
think
they
we're
will.
going to see one?
Yeah, because they've done it before. I remember seeing it, and I remember it being at their own showcases and stuff. And because I remember seeing when PlayStation handles it on their side, they don't, even if it's coming to Xbox, they don't put the logo on there unless they are forced to having to do that.
Right.
So
All
I
right.
think Xbox are just they're just a complete open book. Let's go everywhere. Let's go, boys.
quick.
Shout out. Go ahead, Jeffrey.
Go, Brandon. No, you go, Brandon.
I was gonna say, speaking of Let's Go, Red X hits us with a Let's Go in the chat, and
Yep.
then Christian says, "Hell yes, thank you, gentlemen." And then Panagrog says, "Usually with this showcase, they only focus on games that they said will be." I got the little heart thing is in the way of the chat.
Yeah, I
on my
see that
thing.
as well. It's really annoying, right? What happens if we click it? Hold on. Does it go away?
Hey,
No.
Brandon, do you want to, since this is starting in like a minute, do you want to give a quick, like, since people are chatting now, how we're going to go about like chatting for the direct right now and after, just so people aren't confused why we're not talking to them or like, communicating?
Oh yeah, right.
Just because we're
So
about to start in a minute.
Yep, for the direct, we're pretty much gonna just let the show roll, and we'll get back to the chat after the show, because I figured that you guys in the chat are wanting to watch the direct and not have us talking over every single second. So the idea is that we'll jump back into the chat after the show and kind of gauge your thoughts and everything post show. So that is the plan. All right. Before we go. Will anything be shadow dropped? Yes or no? I'm saying no.
Yeah,
Yes.
I say yes. I don't know what, but there's definitely going to be a Game Pass shadow drop today. Absolutely. Absolutely.
This developer direct will be a blank out of 10.
8.
12.
12.
No, I'm kidding. I'm going to go 7. Brandon, you.
Yep, 7.5.
Okay, there we go. We covered our bases.
Perfect. All right,
All
guys. Here we go.
30 seconds.
It is about that time. I'm really excited for this, dude.
I feel like no matter what part of like the console, like whether you're a Switch, PlayStation, or Xbox player, there's still always, as a gamer, some level of excitement for these no matter what.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
it's new games. We love games. Come on.
Here we are.
Titanfall 3. Titanfall 3. Titanfall 3.
And obviously,
Whoa.
everybody give feedback on like the audio, please.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, let Lou know what's going on.
Please.
Look at that. What a great way to start that.
All games available day one.
What a great way to start that. Like, so there's no questions. Anything that's showing right now, you get to play day one. That's amazing.
Booyah.
That's amazing. I love that. I love Game Pass.
Here we go.
Uh-oh. Sorry, in UK, you don't get... Oh, there you go, Peggy.
Red X says audio is kind of low. We can crank the audio a little bit.
Is that for the video or us?
The video.
For the video, I'm assuming.
Okay.
All right, developers. Let's see it.
We'll do that, and hopefully that is good.
Just let us know, guys.
I do appreciate... Sorry, Brandon.
Oh, no, I didn't. I'm just fucking talking.
I just appreciate that like they're really leaning into this human approach. It is cool because with everything crap happening, I'm glad to see they're kind of leaning into the human side of how much it actually takes to make these games.
Right. I agree. I love these little sit down, kind of deeper dive run throughs. But
'Cause it's
I
so
also love
easy.
the rapid fire.
Yeah, the sizzle reels, yeah.
Yeah.
Just because it's like as a player, it's so easy to take for granted how much actually goes into any game, no matter how small or big, you know.
Yep,
Absolutely.
All right.
Red
Xbox.
X, let us know about that audio, brother.
Okay. Ooh. All right, here we go, guys. This is so exciting. Sea of Thieves 2.
Yes, this is good. Guessing about.
Is this the new game?
Skull and Bones too.
Yeah,
Oh, it's
oh. Brandon, you might be onto something.
Getting a dub that quick? Are you kidding me?
You called it, Brandon.
No.
Dude, you called it.
アクションシリーズの新情報を発表できる機会をいただけてとても嬉しく思います。早速ですが、こちらをご覧ください。
What's the guy's name? Ryu
Neo, but
Hayabusa?
maybe.
It's not going to be Neo.
Nah.
Several years ago, the Dark Dragon, youngest of the divine
Oh,
dragon
that looks
gods,
sick.
wreaked havoc across the world. The plot was ultimately
There you-
Got it,
the efforts
baby.
of
Wow.
Soul Ninja.
That's awesome.
However, the Dark Dragon's husk remained, and from this husk fell an
It's like horror Ninja Gaiden.
of cursed rain. The abandoned
this looks
Tokyo
dark.
continues its struggle against chaos to this day.
Platinum.
Really?
No shit.
Metal Gear Rising Revengeance 2.
Oh, that's Ninja Gaiden. That is Ninja Gaiden, baby.
Dude, you called it, man. Talk about OG Xbox days.
Shit. Oh, we're web swinging. We got grapple hooks. We're in this bitch.
This looks
Oh,
insane.
we're rail grinding.
And guess what? They're showing bunches of gameplay. Love it.
Oh, this is out. This is out this year. There's no, bro. Day one Game Pass this year.
Oh, this is sick. This looks so good. Oh my gosh.
And this is an action game, baby. We ain't fucking with stamina meters.
Yeah, no Souls like crap. Just make this pure, good old character action, man. And please make it there be an easy option for us bad gamers, i.e. me. Please.
This looks good, dude. It looks so old school. The camera pulled back.
Doesn't it give you those OG Xbox days?
Yes, bro, it does.
Wow.
Xbox, pay the bag, make it exclusive.
Ninja Gaiden
I know it
4.
won't be.
Dude, pure old Ninja Gaiden 4. Wow.
Ninja Gaiden 4. Damn.
That's sick. That art's awesome. Oh my gosh.
世界中の町人の皆さん、10年以上大変お待たせしました。
Awesome.
最強の忍者とな
What a way
り
to kick
容赦なく
off the
襲い来る敵に挑むハイスピードアクション忍者ガイデンのナンバリング
That's so
最
sick.
新作として忍者ガイデン4を発表させていただきます。
Ninja Platinum.
本作はプラチナゲームズさんとの協業で開発を進めています。
Cool.
プラチナゲームズさんのアクションゲームというジャンルにおける実績は言うまでもなく、ベヨネッタやニアオートマタなど素晴らしいアクションタイトルを生み出してこられました。忍者ガイデン4というタイトルを10年以上の時を超えて新たに皆様
More
に
than
お
a
届けするにあたり、より多くの方に新鮮な気持ちでプレイしていただけるよう新たな世界を新主人公で
Doesn't it have like a dark, almost horror vibe to it, kind of?
Yeah,
Like a
Absolutely.
vampire
I mean,
almost
the city-
vibe.
The cityscapes look so dark and
先ほどご覧い
dreary.
ただい
and-
た映像の中で、
Yeah.
リュウハヤブサ
So
も
cool.
登場しておりましたが、彼は今回も物語に密接に関わってきます。なぜヤクモと戦うことになったのか、リュウハヤブサが戦う目的は何なのか、本作の物語の中で展開していきます。
任務は必ず成し遂げる。邪魔をするな。
物語は黒龍がもたらした正気の雨によって荒廃した首都東京が舞台となっています。この雨は黒龍がまだ生きている証であり、
Bro, this is out
雨
this
がや
year.
まない限り東京に安寧は訪れません。
They have
I mean-
so much to
There's
show.
no way this shadow drops, right?
Oh my gosh, imagine if it did. That would be insane. I doubt
That's
it.
the thing people don't take into like account, right? Is that with them going so heavily into Game Pass and like easing off of physical, they can do something like that and get away with it that a PlayStation couldn't just drop like that because people will be pissed that they can't get pre-orders.
I don't know. I don't know if Team Ninja could get away with it though. That's the thing is they need to market this a little bit more, and unless Xbox paid them crazy
No, unless
money.
that's what I mean. Xbox kicking them in the bag, of course. I'm not saying that it's highly likely, but if anybody could get away with it, it would be them.
Well, wasn't Hi-Fi Rush 20? That was a January shadow drop,
Yep.
right?
That's what I mean.
And it didn't
So
work out too well for that studio.
yeah, but that wasn't because that was just because of terrible leadership from Microsoft and Xbox. It has nothing to do with Tango. That was just terrible leaders.
That's the reason I've kind of gone like I don't think they're shadow dropping anything anymore because of that. But I would love to be wrong, obviously. Oh, look at that wall running.
They're showing so much game. I mean, they're showing like
Oh,
an
yeah,
This
immense
has to
amount
be
of
so
gameplay.
close to being done. Like, this isn't concept.
This might be first half of 2025, dude.
Maybe April then, because April I think is a little slower compared to February and March, right?
Yeah.
So, oh my gosh, this looks so good.
驚いていただけると思います。
Please
Panda
don't be-
says Metal Gear Rising 2. Absolutely. Absolutely. Kristen says Goaty Sleeper. Agreed.
Please don't be a Souls-like. Please don't be a Souls-like.
Oh, it's definitely not. I mean, there is zero. There's not an ounce of a stamina meter in this bitch.
Well, they're not showing UI though, so.
But
Just
I mean, you
they're
can
not
see
sh-
the
You can
speed of
turn
it.
that UI off in Elden Ring, Brandon.
Yeah, I wouldn't be. I wouldn't say
I don't
that so
think it is
quick.
a Souls-like, though. This
Every
doesn't-
game
this
is coming
doesn't
out
feel
with-
like it.
Yeah, but
I mean, you
every
can
game is
see it's
coming
not,
out
though.
Souls-like. How? How can you say that when the first Berserker plays exactly like this? Wukong is fast-paced.
There's not there. This is not a Souls like. I guarantee you.
I'm cautiously
It's
optimistic.
way too quick.
I don't know, man. Everything's leaning into that though, because there's too many masochists out there. Stop liking hard games, everyone. Let us pansies play our easy games, dang it.
Oh, this is gonna be hard as hell. It's just not gonna be. You're not gonna have stamina meters and stuff.
Give us a story mode, please. Some of us don't know how to play hard games, all right? Some of us want our baby games.
Oh, that is
ヤクモが使える新要素
that is Metal Gear Rising right there.
Yeah.
That flurry, that is the thing that you could do
これ
with
までから大きく進化し
his
た
name escapes me.
一対多の
Riding.
戦闘を可能にしました
Right. Yeah.
That was developed by Platinum, though, right, too?
Yeah, that's what I
So-
mean. This is oozing it.
一撃必殺の
Maybe they're blending both, like, because the original Ninja Gaidens were certainly action heavy, but they weren't as fast as this with any. So maybe they're combining the elements of both.
における比率も健在です
Oh, looks so
プ
cool.
レイヤー同様敵もガードや回避をしてくれる
Come on, Shadow Drop.
緊張感のあるフェアな戦闘を味わうことができます敵の動きをし
Maybe
っ
like
か
a
りと
demo
捉
at
えなが
least?
ら
What if they put out a demo today or something and then
Yeah,
brought it
that
in the
makes
first
a bit more
half?
sense, yeah.
ヌエの方によって
That would be sick, right?
忍者ガイデンのアクションの味わいにさらなる進化を感じられるかと思います
Dude, look at how hard they're going into this. This is like the first, what, 10 minutes already? Holy crap.
手触り、バランス調整など細
Oh
部に
my
わた
gosh.
って議論させていただき、会社の垣根を越えた密なやり取りをさせていただいています。本作の主人公であるヤクモは、竜とは一味違うアクションを有していますが、
I mean, Xbox does need to come back swinging, so maybe this is the start for them.
例えば
Dude, they have so much to show.
ヤクモの大きな特徴ですが、それらが持つ多彩な性能なアクションを用いて
To Xbox's credit, they seem to be on the forefront of the ones that, at least in the last couple of years, try to do more gameplay,
などを絡めた
generally speaking, in their stuff.
もちろん
So,
ヤクモで
that's
も
good.
健在です。
ヤクモと竜ハヤブサは
Oh, there's another character. I didn't even realize
個
that.
性的なアクションの
Yakumo.
持ちになっていますのでさまざまな戦闘バリエーションを楽しむことができるように
Dude, that was a straight up vampire. Come on. Didn't you see that, Loon? That was a straight up vampire.
ヤクモそして竜ハヤブサの双方で飛燕伊
I
豆
have
直
to
人
put my hands up. I've not played the series. I only played like the opening hour of
新
the
アクションを
first
織り交
game.
ぜた新しい忍者ガイデンにご期待ください
Twisting
That's
my
fair.
arm, having to make me clear a whole series before this comes out, guys.
忍者ガイデンシリーズに色濃く
They're on Game Pass,
歯応
I
え
think.
Oh,
But,
yeah.
アクション体験の
oh, okay.
さらに我々プラチナゲームズの特徴である
You'd have to imagine if they said it's been a decade since the last one, like maybe they'll do some good story recap stuff or something as well, just in case. But
Yeah, of
that'd be
course.
sick.
容赦ない敵とのいかなる
Awesome.
攻防にもフェアに戦える手触りを
Awesome, awesome.
ヤクモでも目指しています。皆様に進化した忍者ガイデンを触っていただける日を楽しみにしています。
シリーズファンはもちろんのこと
Thanks everyone for being here. We appreciate you.
存分に楽しめる作品になっております
You could be anywhere, but you're watching us. Thank you guys. We appreciate it.
長年にわたってプラチナゲームズさんと共にまさに忍者のように潜んで忍者ガイデン4の開発を進めてきましたがついに発表することができて非常に嬉しく思います2025年
Fall
秋に本作を
2025
皆様にお届けできるのを
Oh,
楽しみ
okay.
にしています
Did it? Oh, that was like a tiny little. Okay.
It did say PS5. Damn.
Oh, yep. Look at how fast they went past that. But you're right. It did say PS5.
Yep, PC,
さ
PS5,
て
everything.
本日お伝えしたい発表
So
はそれ
they've
だけ
just
では
given
あり
up
ません
on just
こちらをご
Xbox.
覧ください
Okay, man. Awesome.
Wait, is this something else?
Wait a minute.
What?
What?
They're remastering. Oh my
Yep.
god.
Yep. Isn't this black? Is this Ninja Gaiden Black or is this?
I believe so.
Sick. What if this shadow drops today? If it's just a remake or remaster, not just, but you know. Oh my gosh. Dude, this looks on par with the one they just showed. Holy crap.
I think we now know why Platinum needed to get involved. If they had both of these in the works.
Oh my gosh. Okay, what do we think this shadow drops today?
I don't think so.
Brandon, you're so negative. Come on.
I
Get some
think they're
positivity,
gonna
bro.
Want a little bit of time.
All right.
You said this is Ninja Gaiden Black, though, right? That looks
I believe so.
I don't actually know.
Yeah, I'd say this drops today. If it is that.
Because talk about a way to get people hyped for the one coming in the fall, right? Come on. There's a Ninja Gaiden
2.
2?
This is- yeah.
Black? Oh, Ninja Gaiden. Oh, black. That's the same. What is...
Available now.
忍者ガイデン2のオリジナル版は
Xbox 360 2008.
360で発売し
So because they had the one for the original
皆
Xbox.
様にお楽しみいただいた作品です今作忍者ガイデン2ブラックではオリジナル版の表現に立ち戻り
Oh, this is a remake.
I mean, that was obvious, though. You could tell, I mean, a remaster is just a coat of paint. This is like full-on brand new. Dude, Platinum has had their hands full. My gosh.
Game Pass today. Damn,
Oh!
y'all got it.
Loon, we called it, bro.
Yeah, you could tell. There was no way they
That
would go
is-
into this after. You would have put this first if you weren't going to drop it in, I think. To then build up that snowball hype in that way.
That is sick. Talk about a smart
So
move.
sick.
Get people pumped. Oh my gosh. Well, Loon, you have to dive into it now. Please have accessibility options, please, Platinum. Ooh, that's a cool statue.
Well,
Brandon, are you gonna get that, Brandon? That statue?
Yep. Oh, I'll be getting the game today for sure.
Oh, that's awesome. Oh my gosh.
Yup.
That is amazing. Amazing. That's sick. That is so sick.
I love that they do that the bonus things as well. Because they've done that a lot with these directs. So even when you think you've got enough from them, they're like, ah, here's an extra. So good.
That's Oblivion remake today. I'm just kidding.
Something like that could happen.
It could. See, Brandon, you shouldn't count out the shadow drops.
Yeah, dude, makes sense though.
Hi, and welcome to
Hi,
Compulsion
Whitney.
Games here in Montreal, Canada. At our studio, we care about world building, and we treat the setting almost like a character of its own.
Wow.
From the magical Nora of Contrast
This looks awesome.
to the alternate history of We Happy Few, we draw inspiration from the landscape to shape mood, drama, and intrigue.
God, the world looks cool.
For South of Midnight, our third-person action-adventure game, the story and characters bring a folkloric Deep South to life. This gave us a chance to explore Southern Gothic themes with a dark fantasy twist. So while our protagonist Hazel is at the forefront of our story, it's the macabre elements and larger-than-life creatures that will leave a mark on her journey and growth.
This looks sick.
It is really picking up out there. Did you pack everything?
Mama, this ain't my first hurricane. I know what to do.
As long as you didn't forget the...
Flashlights and batteries.
Oh, shit, we got 5 minutes. Let's go.
Won't be rushed if you didn't.
Don't mumble. Speak on it.
I said we wouldn't be rushed if you didn't waste all that time at the shelter.
Now, you want to bring this up right now.
I'm just saying.
Hazel, please.
We might need some help. I might need some help. While you're out.
Okay, so
helping
there's an
everybody
actual
else.
story.
Hazel.
Did you not think there'd be?
We really hadn't seen anything, so I was just curious.
Gotcha. Hi.
Hazel may start her journey as a typical 19-year-old, but disastrous events will push her into a darkly magical world where she'll learn who she really is and how to tap into weaving. An ancient magical power that redefines her trajectory in life.
This looks so sick.
The land itself chooses Hazel as a weaver. Someone who can see beyond the surface and tap into a deeper reality, the grand tapestry. Weavers can see the fabric binding our world, connecting people, nature, and echoes of the past.
Keep those hands to yourself.
Hazel can perceive both the mystical strands and stigmas in the world. Through her newfound power, she reweaves these stigmas and mends the afflicted creatures she encounters.
As Hazel discovers her power, the world gradually shifts into the surreal, revealing that creatures from the old folktales actually exist.
You up here, my salvation.
Among them is good old Catfish, the storyteller who becomes both the guide and companion to Hazel across the game.
It ain't every day I hear about a new weaver, so did you say? Would you kindly
This looks
do
so
your
good.
weavy thing and help me down?
Oh my gosh.
Meeting Catfish marks the true beginning of Hazel's journey. All of Hazel's arsenal and powers are designed around textile crafting and traditional spinning wheels. Her weapons include a spindle, two weaving hooks, and a distaff. Her magic abilities manifest with supernatural lace-like patterns, blending the traditional craft with mystical elements. Hazel engages with the world through a variety of movement abilities. Those abilities
The wall
also
running,
help
everybody's
Hazel
using that shit now.
As her journey
That is funny.
unfolds, Hazel will master new
This weaving looks so sick.
using them to traverse the world,
Never seen that in a game.
conjure objects,
Tears of the Kingdom vibes.
and confront
Don't say that.
adversaries.
Ugh.
Combat
Tears of the
is about understanding and adapting to different enemy archetypes known as Aints. The manifestations of corruption.
Getting Banishers vibes a little bit.
These hates trap
Yeah.
Hazel in combat until she unravels
Focus home.
them,
Double A.
destroying them in
Yeah.
the process.
Focus home for sure.
Each Aint has its own unique moveset, strengths, and weaknesses that you'll need to learn and adapt to. For example, the slug burrows on the ground and unleashes devastating strikes from afar, while the Ravager closes the distance with chilling speed. Hazel can counter these threats with agile
So I do have a
abilities to
theory.
execute powerful combos.
Would you show off Ninja Gaiden first if you didn't have something equally impressive to close the show that was unexpected, like an Oblivion remake?
I think they've got
Oh,
two
yeah.
things.
Mastering your magical skills.
There's no
become
way
the
it was
key to
only Ninja
gaining
Gaiden.
upper hand in combat.
No.
Interesting.
They're gonna close it out with something equally huge.
Some of
Absolutely.
the spells at your disposal that give you a tactical advantage during.
But this is really strong so far. They're showing so much gameplay of things.
Pull distant enemies close to start melee
This looks
combos.
sick.
Pull
Does
your
look
attack
really
to
good.
interrupt and stun their
I think this is low key my most excited, my most anticipated of the year now, Brandon. Based on what you said, this looks so good.
interact uniquely
And two back-to-back action games, like real action, you know, old school action.
especially when facing multiple types of opponents
Yeah, like
at the same time.
kind of like a
Once you're
PS2
there,
era game, but like
enemies can be unraveled,
obviously
breaking their
modern
core and
standards.
setting them free of their corruption, which has the added benefit of providing health boosts and reducing ability cooldowns. If you play your combos right, you can
Yeah,
enhance
Panagrove
Hazel's
made a
combat
good
readiness
point.
and keep
A
on
good
chaining
Game
her
Pass
abilities.
game, but he wouldn't buy.
As Hazel
I think
progresses
that's.
in the game, she unlocks
I think a lot of
Beatles
people would fall
like
into that.
the same
and you'll
people's
have to
feelings
decide
whatever for
which
that.
areas to prioritize.
Yep.
That's fair. This is a gamble for a lot of people, yeah. But day one for me if I would buy it.
Oh yeah, I'd definitely buy it too, but
and pull skills to improve precision
me saying
and
that
make them
means
feel
nothing.
more rewarding.
I mean,
The
yeah,
combat
that's true.
system is fast and responsive, built
God,
around
this looks so
chaining
good.
attacks, landing precise strikes, and unraveling enemies.
You mind if I take a look around?
You can see every place old Molly terrorized and more. Now for the low
It would be
price of
kind of
$1.
nice to see a
Hazel's
southern
search for
setting
her
that
mother,
wasn't
you'll
portrayed
explore
in such
multiple
a like
regions,
comic,
each ruled by a mythical creature
you
with
know what I
their
mean,
own
like
Southern
comically
Gothic history.
exaggerated.
You'll gradually uncover the backstories
Was
of
it
these
Norco?
beings, once human
Kind
or
of?
animal. were
Kind of in that,
transformed by
yeah.
tragedy.
Norco wasn't
Their
not
secrets
as
waiting to
much.
be discovered. As a weaver,
I mean,
That's
Alone in the
actually
Dark
pretty cool.
was Southern Gothic,
by
right?
collecting fragments of haunted memories.
Yeah,
We call these echoes,
and that
I mean,
wasn't too bad.
which reveal each
Yeah.
creature's past.
Are you saying this fits that mold, or you want one that's more realistic? Is what you're saying?
Before she can mend them.
Well, it's
A little bit less goofy
it's
and
a
kind
whole
of
different thing.
stereotypical.
Yeah, it's like if you came from where I came from, like it's not a whole lot of goofy characters running around and.
Yeah.
From the atmospheric environment
That's
to
fair.
unique music themes composed for each one. While not all encounters lead to direct combat, Hazel will need to face mythical creatures in epic confrontation before she can heal them. Our boss encounters and gameplay sequences also reflects the uniqueness of each creature. with
Loon, I'm really glad you
mechanics
said that you
center
can
around a specific
switch off the animation thing. That's a really cool game changer
that ramp up
Yeah.
in complexity.
for a lot of people, probably.
As the encounters progress,
You just
the
have to
musical
stomach
theme
it through the
builds up,
cutscenes,
cranking
unfortunately. I don't think it's
the tension
toggleable for
alongside
that.
fight.
Which is fair, yeah.
Whether it's Two-Toed Tom or hugging Molly,
I mean, this looks
larger-than-life
fantastic.
creatures is inspired by
The
Oh, yeah.
scale of the enemies, like
climactic battles.
We got a long journey.
I'm gonna call it now. This is probably going to be my game of the
South
year.
of Midnight unfolds as a hero's journey, and as Hazel,
This is every
you'll
vibe that I
travel
love.
through a tapestry of Saturn-inspired landscapes.
Are you excited, Loon?
From abysmal swamps to
I
flooded
think I would
farmlands.
probably be in the same like
Appalachians.
boat as like Panda Grog. I think if
In
this
our
wasn't on Game
magical
Pass,
South,
this would be something I pick up like
decaying
years down the
buildings
line on like
reclaimed
a
by
deep
nature
sell.
stand
Not to say it
miles
looks
away
bad.
from a hungry
It's
Rugal. And as
this year's
Hazel
so
delves
stacked.
deeper, reality bends
Sure. Yeah, it
ever
is a
more
stacked year.
toward the fantastical.
So with it going into Game Pass, it's the best
history,
thing that
landscape,
probably it
and
could have
folklore
done
of
for
the
me.
American Deep South fill our world, and our team has infused
The beauty of Game
with
Pass, man.
thoughtful
People seem to hate
details
on
and
Game Pass and when people
environmental
talk about it, but man, the
like our
beauty
bottle
of Game
trees
Pass.
and Haint Blue porches, which
This
are
is
set toward our people
beautiful,
spirits.
dude.
Yep.
The Way to the Past emerges as
See,
central
that's the
themes,
type
which
of
you can
stuff
see through
I'm
old
interested in,
abandoned
like
buildings
the
and
some of the
businesses struggling to
cityscape
survive.
areas, not just the big
As you
open
explore,
nothing.
you'll meet locals who stayed behind even in the face of a hurricane.
Sorry, that's what we all think of the
We
South.
have stuff
apparently.
down here.
It's not just nothing.
This part of the river's filthy with them.
Artistically, we're staying true to our moody compulsion signature style. But this time, we're using a handcrafted approach inspired by stop-motion animation, which allows our team
Because I mean, I
to bring a
understand the
distinct
bayou, you gotta have
personality
the
and tone
swampy
into
lands and
every
stuff, but
proper
it's like that's not
Because
what
this folklore is
Louisiana
open to
is in
visual
its entirety.
interpretation,
Louisiana is a
we
big.
embrace the
It's,
freedom
I
to
mean, New
reimagine
Orleans
these
is a
creatures
huge
and
city.
their stories to adapt how
It's
they
not
look
all
and
voodoo and
connect our own
bayou.
version of a fantastic
Right.
deep south.
Well, I mean, even in that, you have Bourbon Street, which is like a huge, blocks and blocks of buildings and bustling things going on, and
At Compulsion Games,
it's
we love to craft around central themes.
Compulsion made We Happy Few, right?
Yep. Right.
That's why when I saw the opening stuff, I'm like, this looks really like that game, but now it makes sense because they made that. As polarizing as that game was, but
We're thrilled to announce
Pentagrog hit it.
that
Mafia 3 did it very well.
Wait.
Yeah, Mafia 3 is probably the best example of it of all
wait, they
time.
just said what the release date was. Sorry, April
8th. Okay.
April. Who called? Yep, there we go. And look, it's only no PS5 or anything.
Perfect. Good.
So
Good.
Only Xbox, only PC. So yeah, no PS5 or anything right now. So there you go. At least one exclusive for now.
Good.
Oh, that's sick.
And it's good to have the distinction. They had it for PS5 was there for Ninja Gaiden, so that would lead you to believe that South of Midnight is an actual exclusive.
That's sick. Ooh, that's a good point. You're right. It highlights that.
Bonjour, everyone. We are Sunfall Interactive.
Jesus,
and
April.
welcome to our manor.
That's 3 months away.
Yeah,
We
that's
are
exciting.
a small studio based in Montpellier, France.
Oh, it's
working
April.
on our first
Oh,
game,
here we go.
Terra Obscura
Nice.
Expedition 33. It's a turn-based RPG set in the fantasy version of late 19th century
So
medieval
good.
France.
Here we are.
Our grand adventure in game development actually started as a solo passion project. I wanted to create something like the JRPGs with turn-based combat I grew up with and loved, but that fully leveraged the latest tech, refreshed the genre, new features, and took place in a compelling world. I knew I needed help to realize my dream. First, I turned to a programmer I knew would get it.
Guillaume and I started trading ideas right away, and that quickly turned into trading files back and forth. Soon, I was creating the first prototypes of the reactive turn-based system, combining real-time offense and defense element, and a cinematic battle camera system. Things really clicked when we tested the first version of those features. We felt we had something both
so cool.
challenging and fun.
As Tom and I went back and forth and iterated on game elements, a vision started to come together, and I shared it with an old friend from university.
Guillaume and I are both passionate gamers, and when he described the project, I quit my job the following week and joined the
Wow.
team without
Jesus.
hesitation. Because I believe that
That's
in video
awesome.
games, success always starts with a strong
Passion
creative
projects,
vision.
man. That's so cool.
And we had that defined by 3 core elements. A story with great emotional depth.
Wow.
Gameplay that innovates
Yeah.
on the classics we love.
This looks so sick. Oh my
And a
gosh, I
world
love
that
this.
is completely original, beautiful, and immersive. We
This is
founded Central
outrageous.
Interactive on these
This is
Just a-
crazy.
a group of friends with a
This
shared
direct is a
vision
banger so
and the
far. I
drive
mean,
to make
seriously,
something
the amount of gameplay and stuff they're showing. Sony and Nintendo better learn some lessons here.
Your legacy.
How did they get so much money?
Core to every great RPG is a compelling story. And Guillaume and I spent 4 years intensively developing and refining ours. And that
Some strong
started with
investors
art.
that believe, I guess. I don't know.
I would assume so. I mean, you don't
67 years
get a
ago,
game that
a
looks like
massive
this for
slumbering paintress
$20
and a
million.
monolith appeared with no warning. Once a year, the paintress wakes and paints a number on her monolith, and everyone who has passed that age is erased. Every year, that number ticks down, and everyone dies younger and younger. Expeditions depart to kill the paintress, determined
such a
to
cool
fight
story.
until their final breath, but none have ever returned. Our story follows Expedition 30.
For anyone that says games aren't art, just look at South of Midnight in this.
Expeditioners,
so cool.
we honor your dedication.
Guillaume and I knew early on that we didn't want to focus on good versus evil. What's interesting
This
to us are people
crazy.
who, yes, are flawed, but who care deeply about each other. And conflicts arise because they have different perspectives on what needs to be done.
I'm sorry about earlier.
We wanted our story to feel dark and mature, with adult characters who feel like real people with real experiences.
Yes, adult characters, real people, real experiences in a turn-based game. Yes, yes,
The heart of the
yes.
story
Finally.
is about overcoming an existential threat.
We
while
barely get those in
struggling with
JRPGs.
loss
I know it's not a
and grief.
JRPG, but
And it's rooted in the characters' relationships, both to each other and to themselves.
What are we gonna do, huh? Tell me. What are we gonna do?
so good.
In a world like this, how does one stay hopeful or make peace with their fate?
Is this technically
What
double A
duty
then?
do we owe to each other or
guess
to
so.
ourselves?
I believe so.
These questions are deeply personal to
I'm
me.
It's like
Like-
indie double A,
The
but it looks like
story
triple A.
behind the
official,
story.
Know that Lumiere fights with you. Tomorrow comes Expedition 33.
The characters all have their own motivations and perspectives.
This looks so good.
Gustave and Lune are deeply invested in the expedition, even if they fight all the time. To them, the mission is tied not only to their family, it's central to their identity and purpose.
Protocol doesn't cover
There's a-
every contingency.
There's a...
You know that.
God,
Contrast
gaming
that
is so
with
great.
Ciel, whose darkest days have already happened.
It's just so awesome.
What are the stars whispering to you? Actually, I'm the one whispering to them. It's something my dad and I used to do.
And Maëlle, who cares more about really living her life, not just living longer.
Gustav, are you real?
It's not all dark, though. Along the way, they meet various colorful NPCs and recruit Monoko, who is a friendly but kinda bloodthirsty philosopher and a fully playable character. He has a really cool battle mechanic where he can turn into
How
the
awesome.
enemies he defeats.
What are you doing?
You can turn into enemies.
He's very, very old and
Oh,
has
hell
seen
yeah.
many expeditions.
That's
come and go.
that's hilarious.
He is a jestful.
This is
They're a
insane.
group of playful beings who view battle as a form of meditation.
Wow.
They're fun and sort of ridiculous. You'll meet
That's so
Monoko
silly.
and many other jestful across the game.
Love it. Bonjour.
Of
Bonjour.
course, Esquier.
That's fantastic.
And otherwise, the most powerful creatures in the verse.
Esquier is that powerful.
He will be your mount and help you travel.
Oh, look at the overworld.
my
That's
God.
sick.
And if you bring him back his
No
special stones, you can unlock abilities.
This is amazing. Oh my goodness gracious.
Where did this money come from?
Bonjour.
Everyone has their own reason
When is it coming?
for
When
joining
is it
the
coming?
expedition, and each of them
Oh.
has their own story arc and resolution that we think players will really connect
So
with.
good.
Yeah, dude.
Holy
Yes,
crap.
Yes, yes.
In addition to a strong narrative, we had a clear vision for our own take on the genre's core gameplay. Our reactive turn-based system takes the traditional turn-based battle mechanic we love and adds real-time reaction,
These battle flourishes put Persona to shame almost.
which gives combat greater intensity and
What's
dynamism.
like clicking in
During
my head
enemy
is
turns,
that
you
if
can
they
negate
were
all
like
damage by
Xbox
dodging
going to
or
come back and
firing
make
at the
a
right time.
turn-based like JRPG-esque game,
But balancing
this is how
turn-based
they would
with
have done it.
real-time
Because this is
mechanics
exactly
took a long
Lost
time to get
Odyssey.
right.
Lost Odyssey
During
wasn't just
initial
normal
playtests,
attacks, it
turn-based
was
players
that kind of
often found the
button, you need to
real-time
time
elements
it
too hard.
correctly. So this just
Some of
aligns
us are
perfectly.
still
And at the
traumatized by
time,
enemies from back then.
Lost Odyssey
We've done a
looked
lot of
so damn
rebalancing
good
since, and with
compared
a
to
lot
Right,
of
it had that
collaboration,
adult
we
sorta-
ultimately came
yeah.
up with a formula that we're proud of. Players who are
So does
good
this
at
get you
real-time can
pumped
take more
then,
risks
Loon, as a
than
JRPG
others.
fan? Does this give you those same
This
feels?
is my most
and
anticipated,
strategies.
like,
A big
other than
part of
Avowed,
that
because of
formula
the
lies
roots
in
with
many
pillars, this
ways
is the
you
next.
can
the
customize
next
your
thing.
character.
Oh wow. It just looks so good.
Yep.
We spend a lot
I don't know
of
about
time
you guys, but do you
each
just
character's
feel the
unique
confidence
mechanics
oozing
and
from
their
this direct?
skill
Yeah.
trees. Our
This is
philosophy
them
is
puffing their
making
chest. What
every
have they
type
got to
of
lose?
playstyle viable so
Yeah,
that
good point,
everyone
yeah.
can have fun with how they play the game.
Each character has a unique mechanic. Mel switches between stances, which can ultimately boost defense or power. I personally like to make Mel the protector of the group,
amazing.
but I'm pretty much the only one at the studio who plays her that way. Most people play her as a glass cannon with Gustav's complementary skills. The characters can also equip hundreds of passive effects, which in our game are
That looks overwhelming.
Half of
Every
Exile.
character has more than 20 unique skills.
Yeah, doesn't Path of Exile have like hundreds upon hundreds of things?
Again, Lumina and weapons. So there are a ton of builds and playstyle to explore. Needless to say,
I mean, each of these games has had at least a good 10 plus minutes.
and what kinds of build you'll design that we probably never
I see
even
Dr. Gamer
imagined.
Ali says, do you think Xbox will launch South of Midnight on physical? Doubt it.
No, I don't think so.
Probably not.
Our story is
If
set
they're
in
not
the
giving us
French
Avowed on
fantasy
physical,
world,
I don't
and I
think
was really
Right.
anything
design something unique.
lower than that or on par with it will get physicals from
Every
Xbox
level
unless
has
it's
its
from
own
like
color
limited
and
run and
texture
stuff.
identity. For example,
Sorry, guys. I know you guys are the
early area in the game where
you
players
want your day
can
one
enjoy
physical,
the
so
We wanted something that feels chaotic.
If it ends up coming to
grungy,
PS5
and
later
toy-like.
on, I could see it maybe getting a physical
Basically
release
a
on
bazaar.
PS5, but
Everything's disorganized, chaos everywhere.
Panda Grog-
kind of the same way with Pentiment and all that.
It's a place
Panda
where
Grog put a
anyone
good
could fight
a
you
good little
and
shout.
enjoy
Said it reminds me of Sea of Stars turn-based combat. Interesting, but like in a third, more 3D view. That's a good
Kestrel
point. Yeah.
Village is hidden inside
Sea of Stars is
the
good.
ancient sanctuary. The ideas here were forest, labyrinths,
Nice.
and sentinels. I designed it as a vibrant place, like an old graveyard of
Seriously,
Kestrels,
this is like
forgotten
almost 15 minutes for
in the
this.
box, with two main colors,
Holy crap.
red and white. I wanted to make it feel cozy.
God, the
hidden from
designs of the
danger,
characters
with traps
as well.
and labyrinths
Yeah.
in case enemies get in.
Yeah. This
Same
is
process
insane.
with the characters. Minoko came in a single concept. I thought of a monkey-like body, white fur with a black and red flat mask.
Oh, I hope this does well.
Ow!
Definitely a Destro.
For escape,
Bonjour.
a cuddly companion to take us around the world.
I hope that becomes the new like RE4 merchant.
That has to be.
Yeah.
What do you want to buy? It's gonna be bonjour.
We start with the core themes and ideas, and
Wow.
the visuals grow
Wow, wow,
organically
wow.
from there.
From the very start of the project, there was one thing that we absolutely wanted to bring back from older JRPGs. A feature we really
The
loved, but is
grind.
very rare these days. A completely 3D and navigable world map.
The grind.
Yes, we've got a world map.
Yeah, overworld map. How cool.
No
And it was a real
shit.
challenge to create.
How
both
awesome.
artistically and technically. And it ended up a lot bigger
How
than
cool.
we expected. You'll definitely need
Loon,
this
are you a big
challenge.
overworld map person? With your JRPGs or no?
With that guy flapping around with his
That's
arms,
a lot of fight.
absolutely. Give me that.
If you want to fight
That's
the
awesome.
toughest bosses of the game, you will have to explore.
Oh my gosh.
No way.
When? Want to play this now? Can't they all just be shadow drops?
We poured
No, there'll be no
our
time.
hearts and souls into this game for the past
Summer?
years.
Gotta go summer maybe for this then,
That's
yeah.
why
August maybe.
We're delighted to announce that Expedition 33
What?
launches on April
What?
24th on Xbox Series X and S and is available day one. on
April
Xbox
30th,
Game
are you serious?
Pass. You can already wish the game and follow us for more info.
What was South of Midnight? April as well, right?
Yeah, April 5th.
What?
Passionate team. It's our debut game.
April is stacked, which just means that like they must have some other bangers for the later half of the year then.
Yes.
Holy crap.
That means there's something. There's another big surprise at this show. There's no doubt about it. Holy
April
hell!
April is gonna take forever to get there. Oh my gosh.
Demain viendra.
Tomorrow.
Wow, guys, this is insane.
Round of April.
Look, there's your PS. April 24th. There it is. Okay, wow.
I like how
Holy-
they're being clear about it with PS5. Put it there if it's going to come there, and then whenever it's not there, it lets us know we actually have an exclusive on our hands. Okay.
That's smart. That's smart. All right, here we go. Doom Dark Ages, baby. Oh, I can't wait for this. It's gonna be so sick. Medieval plus Doom. Come on now, yeah. Good old Marty Strand. Hi.
Hello, and welcome to Dallas, Texas,
Hi,
home
Marty.
of id Software, where more than 30 years ago,
Bonjour.
a small team of game developers
Sorry.
helped define
Sorry, that's not gonna end now.
for first-person shooters. A lot has changed since then, but our team is as passionate as ever. And the most important values at the core of our games, innovation, craftsmanship, and performance, remain a priority for us to this day. And as you're
There you
about
go.
to see,
Those values are infused in every aspect of this latest installment in the legendary Doom franchise. It is an honor to work on this game, to carry on its tradition of creating all-out, groundbreaking levels of fun.
So now, we're excited to share with you a look at our most ambitious game yet. This is Doom: The Dark Ages.
That was so stupid I mouthed the word.
That's hilarious. I love that. That's fantastic.
I love that they kept that.
That
Don't
shows their
double-take
sense of humor. People love that stuff. That's why. It's hilarious. Oh boy.
Oh, let's go.
Hell yeah.
This looks so sick.
Oh shit, we're firing space nukes.
You will feel like the
Yeah, medieval space nukes.
medieval war against hell.
Oh, look at that.
Set in a
Holy
cinematic
crap.
sci-fi fantasy world full of locations to explore,
Ooh,
powerful
baby.
weapons to unlock, and enemies to conquer. This is a prequel to Doom 2016, and that's given us the opportunity to reimagine every aspect of this experience. So if you're
He's wearing
new
a
to the
cowboy hat.
franchise, then Doom: The Dark Ages will be the perfect entry point into the series. And if you're a longtime fan, then you'll be proud to see, in a lot of ways, the feel of the game is really a return to form. So let's break it down, starting with the combat.
Rip and tear.
In Doom Eternal, you felt like a fighter jet. In Doom: The Dark Ages,
Dude, that
you'll
is
be an
freaking-
iron tank.
Oh, look at this.
Strong,
Oh
but
my
still fast.
gosh.
A grounded
that
combat system
bitch.
with an emphasis on power over the acrobatics of Doom Eternal.
Oh, medieval Doom. Come on.
And a balance between enemy projectiles and player movement speed that makes strafing to aim viable again, just like in the classic Doom games. But it's not all about nostalgia.
Yeah, it looks like they're kind of slowing it down a smidge, which is kind of cool.
So for Doom: The Dark Ages, it's an all-new world with new tools and new mechanics to master. Let me introduce you to the Shield Sword.
Yeah.
Dude, that's awesome.
Throw.
We don't have Gears' Lancer at the moment, but boy, we got this.
Got a boomerang shield saw.
It's contextual.
Oh my gosh, look at that.
Oh my god.
Button press.
Dude, that freaking weapon that like grinds the skull down, that's so crazy.
Experience. So in 2016, we asked you to run and gun. In Doom Eternal, it was jump and shoot. And in Doom: The Dark Ages, you're gonna stand and fight.
I told you, slowing it down a little bit. That's smart though. This looks so sick.
It's because the DLC in Eternal was so... I don't know if any of you played it. It was so much faster even than the base game. It was rough.
So like too fast, yeah.
Yeah. That final boss was really difficult.
Because if you're gonna stand and fight, then you
It's cool they listen to feedback and they're slowing things down, then that's awesome.
How about an iron flail?
The Doom guy is if Captain America was on steroids.
Or even a Doom spiked mace.
Thanks everyone for being here. We appreciate you. We really do. Thank you for joining us as we share our excitement.
Absolutely. Pretty stacked little live chat. People popping off, man. Happy.
20 something people here. That's awesome. Thank you guys.
Hope everyone's enjoying.
Yeah, thank you, Loon, man, for getting all this set up. Round of applause for the homie Loon.
Thank you, Loon.
Never would have been possible if I if I was trying to get this shit set up. Boy, people be pissed right now on the live chat.
We'd be in the live
stop motion as well. What the hell?
Yeah, oh, wah, wah. You'd be sending your live chat replies on a typewriter. Dude, did you guys hear they said glory kills are now going to be, you could do them whenever you want to without animations. It's just you do it when you want to now. That's sick.
And Dark Ages has some of the most ridiculously powerful
This looks so freaking sweet.
ever created.
Oh my gosh. 2025 is going to be a banger year, man. Plus the Switch 2, plus like, man, I don't know. Goodbye, wallet.
God. Chat, hit us with some release date predictions for Doom.
Yeah.
We got April looking pretty stacked, so hopefully not April.
Shadow drop.
May 30th.
January 23rd.
July-ish. June-ish, July-ish.
And see
Shadow
how
drop.
these medieval mechanics synergize with the enemies and the environments.
I'm sticking with Shadow
to form
drop.
the new combat loop for Doom: The Dark Ages.
May 18th, Medics. Yeah, but a lot of Mays. Everybody just hit May back to back to back. That's crazy. Okay.
So my question then is if they're releasing all of these big hitter games before summer, at least so far, you'd have to either hope that like the positive would be they have a bunch later in the year, or they don't. But like
maybe they know something we don't. Maybe they know GTA's dropping, for instance.
Oh, yeah.
And they're like, hey man,
get out the
you
way.
can have that like final half because it's going to be on our console. It's not going to do us any harm. Let's get all these out in the early part of the year. They're going to be on Game Pass, so they're not going anywhere.
True.
You probably
The
want to
GT
give at least 3 months separation.
What if GTA 6 is day one Game Pass? I mean, just saying, what if? Like, you just never freaking know anymore. I know Rockstar doesn't need that, but...
Nah, Strauss Zelnick hates Game Pass, the CEO of Take-Two.
Well,
he
can get
hates all
over
the
it.
subscription services.
He also hates his players, so, I mean, if we're honest. So.
Oh, there
I
you
mean,
go.
let's just be
There
honest.
you go. For you.
Hey, look at that. Thank you, Lynn. Yay! I hope the difficulty is just called Pansy mode, because that's what I want.
The Wolfenstein
Never hurts
thing
to
where
have
it gives
this
him a
shit.
pacifier.
Yeah. I mean, listen. If you want to play it hard, play it hard. If you don't want to play it hard, don't play it hard. Like, play how you want to play. Who cares?
Play
Stop
how you
this
wanna play.
gatekeeping. My gosh.
Have fun.
Have some fun.
Just get over it, people. Stop gatekeeping people.
Oh, shit!
Titanfall 3 inside Doom.
No way!
Oh, what?
bro.
Dude, that's sick. Drakengard. We got Drakengard inside Doom. You get a dragon? A cybernetic dragon? What? This is wild.
No shit, dog.
What are they doing? Is that a Titan? Like a mech?
Yeah.
We got Drakengard, we got Titanfall.
Destructible environments.
They're gonna do a Crackdown 3 wanted to do.
Pull them through the experience. So we're excited to share with you not just the gunplay, but the world.
God, the confidence here is awesome.
We got some story, some exploration.
Will take you to the far reaches of the Doom universe.
Oh, this world.
Mysterious worlds from the Slayer's past, dark forests, dungeons, ancient hellscapes, battlefields, and worlds beyond.
Wow.
And through exploration, you'll be unlocking new abilities
This
and
looks so
godlike
sick.
powers every step of the way. Now armed with your trusty shield saw, you're gonna cut, leap, and smash your way through environments full of secrets and treasures. There's always something new waiting to be discovered or destroyed. Now let's take a closer look at just one of the many missions you'll experience in Doom the Dark Ages. In this level, you will meet the enemy at the gates and save a city from certain destruction. Explore the medieval battlefield outside the castle walls, seeking out targets and enemy formations along the way to engage with as you see fit, with any gun you choose. Explore what is the largest play space ever in a Doom game, discovering secret caves.
So, like, do we think, like, zoned or semi, not open world, but, like, zoned areas, like semi-open?
Yeah.
They've been getting bigger and bigger each game.
Underwater exploration.
Doom 2016 was kind of like a little bit corridor-like, and then Eternal had that jumping and parkour system where you could explore a lot more. Nice.
Did they say
just said a
underwater?
Doom sandbox.
Yeah.
Doom underwater. I hope the music goes all, like, nice and calm when you're underwater. This looks so insane.
Show me May.
And the soundtrack to your epic adventures will be composed by the award-winning team at Finishing Move, providing you with a metal soundscape that's loaded
Yeah,
with
metal, baby.
guitars, medieval vibes, and pure adrenaline. You'll feel like you're expanding the legend of the Slayer with every mission you complete.
Wow. Wow.
And speaking of that legend, the story of Doom the Dark Ages, like everything else in the game, is big. It's a summer blockbuster event with
Did they just tease it? A summer blockbuster event?
You are the star of the
Yeah.
show.
I'm gonna say June
Power
then.
is coveted by your enemies and withheld from your allies. With the Slayer in
This is Bonjour guy.
Bonjour.
Exactly like him.
Bonjour, welcome to hell. I hope someone says that.
Bonjour, welcome to hell.
Enjoy your stay. Sorry, that wasn't French. I apologize to any French people watching. Please don't unsubscribe from us.
Bonjour, welcome to hell.
I hope they add that to the game. In software, let me know. You can hire me.
It's an action story
Oh my gosh.
We've got 10 years of making modern Doom games together, and we've done better with every game we've made.
The hope with all this, the goal.
Oh, I hope someone would have ran into a wall while they were doing this walking thing.
That's as fun to play as it was to make.
Come on, someone run into the wall.
They just punch through it like you can in Doom.
The best game kid has
Destructible office environment.
For you to decide.
Oh, wow.
Doom the Dark Ages releases.
You called it, Loon. May. You guys called it.
Everybody called it in chat.
You guys, May 15th, baby.
I was
You guys called it.
15.
But you still said May, so good job, everyone. Holy cow. May, April, fall. Like, what else have they got?
They're stacking that. They're stacking.
Like, this is
showcase.
chapter 1 of chapter
Yeah.
9.
Yeah. Like, where's the rest of the... Ooh. Is there not going to be? There's got to be an ending thing, right? There's got to be.
Maybe not. I mean, that was stacked.
I mean, they don't need to.
Nah.
You will feel like the super weapon in
They
the
usually
center of
do
the
one more
war
extra
against
thing.
hell.
Yeah.
But this just means June through December is going to be surprise after surprise, potentially.
The combat system is built around
Those marketing windows are shortening up like crazy, man. Maybe they just blow out that June showcase like they're doing here, with like release dates coming very soon.
But that's
Isn't
what
that
you
the
want to
smarter
see,
way of
right?
doing it, though, if you think about it. Get people
Yeah.
excited for what's on the horizon. Why care about what's coming out in November?
Yeah.
Focus
Or
people's
don't-
attention to the start of the year, and then
Or
when they're
don't
all
announce-
out, get that new showcase out, and then be like, right, that was the start of the year. Here's the rest of the year.
Yeah.
Like, don't announce a game 12 years before it's coming.
Right.
Beyond Good and Evil 2. Looking at you.
Every single one is available day one Game Pass, baby.
That's what you do, man.
Wow.
Make a good show.
Wow. What?
Anything else? Come on.
I don't think so. They're not. But they don't need to, though.
Nice, man.
That
Nice,
was
nice.
incredible.
Great show. Great show.
Holy crap.
Chat, hit us in the chat with your scores from
Yeah, what
1
was
to
that?
10. What are you scoring that? Loon, what are you scoring that? I mean, that was I don't know how you can go any lower than like a 9. That's a 8.59. That has to be somewhere in that range, man. That was
I
fantastic.
would nick it a little bit because, I mean, I guess they did. Ninja Gaiden 2 is yeah, that's a 9.
Yeah.
Maybe it's
Chat's
because I'm
coming
not
out
as
8.5s, 8.
invested in Ninja Gaiden, so it wasn't as exciting for me to be like, yeah, day one, let's go right now. But
Yeah,
that's
lots of
still that was an
8s and 9s.
impressive showcase for what they had.
8s and 9s.
Yeah,
are
8s
coming
and
in.
9s pretty much flooding the chat there. All right, dude. So I mean, that is that was really good. Jeffrey, what are you thinking? Out of 1 out of 10, what would you give this bad boy?
I'm giving it a 9.5. That was honestly like, if you think about these kind of showcases, whether it's Xbox, Nintendo, PlayStation, whatever, like, how does it make you, like, do you get those excited feelings as just being someone that plays games? And this blew it out of the park because they just leaned into how much the games are going to show. And Loon, to your point, I have zero love for Ninja Gaiden. Zero. I've played the games, but I don't care about them. But the way they showcased it and had such confidence and panache about it made me want to be excited. And I think that's what it takes, is because they showed the right thing. So yeah, easy 9.5 for me. That was phenomenal. What about you, Brandon?
I think I'm right there between that 8.59 range for sure. I mean, my thing is, like, it's tough to grade these showcases opposed to an Xbox showcase, PlayStation showcase, where it's just the sizzle reel like we talked about. But for this style of thing, for a direct like this, I don't know how you can get much better. You know what I mean? Like, this is maybe that one extra surprise at the end to really pop, like, oh, damn. And that would kind of be that where it's the next
That would have been
level.
the 10. That would have been the 10. If they would have shown like a Japanese studio at the start and then a Japanese studio at the end, that would have been like the perfect thing.
Yeah.
But I think, Brandon, during the showcase, you hit the nail on the head. They're doing that smart thing of saying, here's all of the gameplay. Like, here's just 10 minutes of gameplay. It's dropping in a few months. Obviously, Ninja Gaiden in 4 is in the fall, but like, they're so confident in their products that they're not just like, well, it's coming in 2025. That, I think, bumps the score up, because that's kind of what we need to see nowadays, because that's how it used to be. And it's not 10 years later. It's not 2 years later. It's not 2026. It's like, here's the date it's coming. And that doesn't mean they're not going to be pushed for XYZ reasons, but like the level of confidence they're bringing, that bumps the score up, I think. So.
Yeah, and so look, we got May 15th for Doom, we got April 8th for South of Midnight, we got April 24th for Expedition, and then fall for Ninja Gaiden 4. So I mean, like, we are looking at a very, very packed year for Xbox. It's so crazy to me to think about a world where these are exclusives. Like, if these are all exclusives, that is a crazy, like, that would be an all-time year for any console in the history of history. It's wild to really think about that.
The thing is that I don't think you would be able to get all of these on one console. That's the thing. I think these cost so much to make and stuff, and that's what they've had to just swallow and just be like, if we go and eat and like lean more into like a third-party-esque publishing deal, we're never going to get all of them PlayStation players over, but we can still deliver these and get the cut. It's just extremely smart business moves, like left, right, and center. None of these give you the feeling of like a Redfall. Every single one of these products is quality. Even if you don't like it, because I saw obviously some people commenting in the thing like South of Midnight's not their thing and stuff like that. But if this is your thing, if that is the thing that you're wanting and you're looking for, that is extremely high quality for what it is. And the same with Doom, and the same with Expedition. Like, these are all like really, really high bars of quality. So
yeah, and I mean, so let's rank them. My dumb ass always got to go to a ranking. For most hype to least hype, I would say most hyped for me, I would probably go. Oh, it's like, this is really tough. They're all somewhere in that equal realm of excitement for me. What would your most hype? We ain't got to rank all of them, but what would your most hyped announcement here at this show be, Loon?
Expedition. Because the thing is I knew what Doom was going to be, even though that's bigger and better and more bombastic, of course. That's always been their motto. Like, they were never going to sit on their hands and be like, oh, it's just Doom Eternal 2.1. Like, they're always going to go the extra thing. South of Midnight's always been that title for me that's trailing behind everything else, if that makes sense. Like, I'm interested and I'll check it out, but it's not really something that I'm like, I need to play that day one. And then Ninja Gaiden is a series that's just slipped through my hands, so I don't have that connection that other people do. Expedition 33 has to be the top one for me, because it is oozing JRPGs like DNA from the rooftop. And because it's coming from a Western developer, they don't get cool. I know that's a lot of people like the simplicity and play it safe and stuff like that, but this is like the quality of like a normal action game. Like, if somebody removed the turn-based combat and was just showing you stuff like that, you would just think it's like a normal action game. And that's something that JRPGs really do struggle with, because it's such a long-winded experience to stretch that out over like an 80-hour campaign and have that level of quality and stuff.
Right.
I'm going to be very shocked if they land on all them things and pull them off, because the visuals look good, the story beats that they were showing us look good. How is the pacing is the only like biggest last worry I have for that. How long is the game going to be? Is it going to be too long? Is it going to be too short? Are you having to trim this down to like a 10-hour, 15, 20-hour experience to try and fit?
What would you want for Expedition? Would you want like 30 to 50?
I would want
20 to
lay in the realm of like Owlcats, like version 1.0 of the games. They usually come in at around 50 hours. I think that would be a good thing. I don't think it would do it much good at being in the 100-hour mark, personally. No. I think this is them speeding everything up and showing this stuff. I think this should be a very snippy, cut and dry kind of thing for a JRPG. So yeah, that's me. Ramble.
Jeffrey, what would you say? Jeffrey, what would you say your most excited announcement from this show was? Number one most hyped announcement.
Yeah. So before I do that, I just real quick, Panda, I think hit the nail on the head. That Xbox is just becoming the king of variety.
Absolutely.
I agree. For anybody that's saying gaming is becoming stale, or just like a lot of people have said, PlayStation puts out kind of the same feeling over the shoulder third person games, which yeah, a lot of these could be the same, but you are getting a lot of variety in terms of genre and style. Real quick, Panda said for number 1 for them is Expedition, number 2 is Doom, 3 Midnight, 4 Ninja. L Walker says number 1 for them is South of Midnight, 2 Expedition, then Ninja Gaiden, then Doom. Captain Corndog says the same. Yeah, so for me, everyone comes to video games for something different, right? I come to video games for an overall feel, how it makes me feel. And so what I mean by that is I can play a great game that everyone loves if it has a good feel and ambiance and if it gives me those vibes depending on where I'm at in life. I'll also play terrible 2 out of 10 games if it still gives me a feel and a vibe for that world. So because of that, the game for me is going to be South of Midnight. I actually wasn't excited for this game really at all. And seeing what they had to showcase today, it was the whole feel of the world. The realistic blended with fantasy, blending with like magical and the weaving and the Southern Gothic. It just provided this feel that I want to be in that world. Something like Banisher, something like Alone in the Dark, something like Vampire. Those games have a feel to it. So that's why I come to games first and foremost. So South of Midnight is the one that gave me where I want to be in that world the most.
Yeah. I think I'm with you in terms of the world I want to enter the most is South of Midnight. I'm so curious about it. And I hope you could see some of the back and forth dynamic between the lady and her mother that seemed a little bit more meaningful and substantive. Like it didn't, I'm not, I don't care. Obviously, you can poke fun at the South and do it like and have characters of people with goofy accents because there's a bunch of goofy accents and stuff. But like there are also like, the damn CEO of Apple is Tim Cook from like 10 minutes up the road from me. You know what I mean? Like there's people in the, it's not all just like one type of person. So I hope it's not like these comically over exaggerated characters. But I think my most, and I'm not a turn-based guy at all, but I think Expedition 33 is the one that like, if you put all of these games in front of me right now and I could pick up one disc to put it in the system, I think I'm putting in Expedition 33 because I'm so curious, like where did you get the money? Is the money actually fully represented in the game? Like what is going on with this weird thing? Where did y'all come from? Who are you?
They said they were working on it for roughly about 4 years, right? Before things like started to really begin like snowballing and the wheels began. They were just spitballing. Right. So I think that might just be the cheat code for developers now. Don't go in and like hunt down a publisher right away. If you have the ability like they did, where you can kind of get your concepts down on paper, bounce them off of people that are a very small group, because I think that's what's done this game so much good, is that it was like, what, 3 of them, they said? They were bouncing like ideas between like a little triangle. That's why games feel a lot more cookie cutter now. When you're trying to present a story, when you have a developer team of like 800 people, it's because it's so, you can't bounce an idea off of 800 people because it become, the whisper thing of where things will get lost in translation. Keeping it small and tight-knit, they can get that stuff down, the foundations, the core of the game, and this is the fruit that's going to ripen from it. It looks so damn strong in its vision, in what they want to present, the themes, and just from top to bottom, it just looks incredible.
Yeah.
I agree, man. I agree.
I have a question for both of you based on Captain Corndog's comment. They said they did such a good job presenting each game, got me interested for all 4 of them. If I only read up about South of Midnight or Ninja Gaiden, they wouldn't even be on my radar. So I think that's a good point for 2 reasons. Number one is I think people just got excited about games they may not even care about. Yep. So my biggest question for you two, as well as the chat, all you guys here, is what was the biggest surprise for you? Now that could be surprise like you just didn't expect it, or surprise in that you didn't think you'd be excited for it. So which game for both of you, as well as the chat, was the biggest surprise personally for you?
Did you want to kick this off first, or did you want me to?
No, go ahead, Lou. Or you guys go first. I mean, yeah.
I'll quickly just throw out the Ninja Gaiden Black, the remaster. That just shadow drop out of nowhere. Like I'm gonna go download that as soon as we get finished with this. I'm jumping. That's the one that was just like
hurry and finish. Loon, shut it down now. Come on. Yeah, that's fair, Brandon. What about you, Loon?
So it's It's in the same wheelboat, and that's the kind of weird thing. Is like I'm not a Ninja Gaiden person. That means like nothing to me. If that sounds harsh, like it's not something I have a connection with. But hearing, I think it was about a month ago, they turned around and said like Platinum were like wobbling a little bit. They had like projects cancelled and stuff. So to see that we're not getting another one of their blunders. What was it? Babylon's Fall was from them, right? I believe.
the live servicey one or whatever.
Crap that was, and we're getting this instead. This oozes platinum. Babylon's Fall did not ooze platinum. That oozed something of somebody whispering over your ear, like, "All right, get this out. We need some money. Try to get something on the old hamster wheel." This felt like Metal Gear Rising Revengeance, and teaming up with Team Ninja. I think that is a match made in heaven. Because we've seen these pairings go down so well before, because they're just able to bounce off each other. They're similar, but they're also different in how they approach their games. And I think this is going to be one hell of an action game.
Yeah. And that's what you get when you give developers and creatives the freedom to do what they want to do. You're going to get better games than the slop that gets churned out for people that aren't passionate about it, right?
Yep.
Totally.
For me, it's going to be Ninja Gaiden 4. Yeah, kind of like you, Loon. I've played some of the games, but I don't have any passion for it. But I don't care about cyberpunk stuff. I don't even care about sci-fi stuff. And punishing games aren't my thing. But for some reason, the confidence that they exuded for Ninja Gaiden 4, the stylistic approaches for it, the world, the creepy factor, that was a big surprise for me. If I would have known before they weren't doing, if they were like, yeah, we're going to showcase Ninja Gaiden, I would have been like, okay, cool for people that like it. But that was the biggest surprise for me. Like, I'm actually really pumped to play both games now. So, again, variety. King of variety, as they said. So
I will say, Pandagrog in the chat says, I'm just worried about the 4 in the name for Ninja Gaiden. And I do agree with that. That probably wasn't the correct move to like 10 years later, here's a 4th game in a series that's been dormant for a decade. Like, maybe not the best idea, but then you see Baldur's Gate 3 that pops up in 2023 that's like, but it feels like it's something you really don't have to have much connection to whatsoever, which I'm sure this will be the same. And if there is any connection needed, they'll provide a little bit of a backstory. But
they also countered that as well by just giving you Ninja Gaiden 2 Black to play now, to get that interest like ramped up, right?
Yeah, and I mean, it's not like it's some narrative juggernaut where you really need to follow along to every
So even if you like we will say, because I'll probably end up dipping into that today as well, and trying it out, and I'm sure all of us will. Because there's no risk. That's the thing of having Game Pass. We've sat here and watched this, and they can do something like that, and that's why I was saying about they can just shadow drop stuff because it doesn't hurt them. If anything, it benefits them.
Right, and I mean, Captain Corndog says that they've never played a Ninja Gaiden game, and they're about to download it as well, and like that, I'm not a mega Ninja Gaiden fan either. I've played a good majority of the games, like dabbled, but I don't remember ever finishing a Ninja Gaiden game when I was a kid. Those things were hard as hell. So it's not like from my hype, it's not coming from some massive built-in fan perspective or anything. It's just like, damn, that looked really, really good, like really high quality, like y'all said, really confident, exuding that like platinum prime, prime 18 platinum feel. Oh yeah, and Loon, I totally forgot. You could just totally scrub back through this.
Yep. I've turned the audio off so we can just talk. I don't think they need to really. It has subtitles as well. Get to reading, guys.
Reading's hard. It is interesting too how like every single one of these games really leaned into the story and lore and narrative aspects.
Right.
Like even I mean, obviously like Doom 2016, Doom Eternal, of course there was a story, but like I wouldn't think most people, again, this is just me guessing, wouldn't be like, oh yeah, I need to know the huge story of Doom the Dark Ages. But every single game prioritized, let's showcase the story. It's not just here's some gameplay, here's just the world, but like let's showcase why we're creating this vision. So like how cool is that, right?
That is an excellent point, dude. I didn't even think about that, but like, yeah, every single thing here, even Ninja Gaiden, it's like the lore of it's like, what the hell? Okay, cool.
And it was because of the way that they set the entire showcase up. Every single game had so much breathing room. If you're trying to jam all this into 5 minutes, you have to cut stuff like that.
Right.
So with them going and keeping it was you think like some people be like, oh, I would have wanted to see more. I want to see 8 titles, 10 titles, 12. I want to see everything that's in the works. By trimming
Mhm.
this down to what was it, 4 or 5 in the end in total,
4
including
or
the
5, yeah.
remaster thing,
5 altogether. Yeah.
which kind of goes hand in hand. So we'll name it 4. Keeping it trimmed down at 4 titles gave every single game 15 minutes to spread
Yeah.
its wings and be like, here's story, here's the lore, here's the gameplay, and it just showed everything from top to bottom. So
Good
that
point.
you don't
Ooh.
leave here with any questions. They've answered everything that you would have. The release date, where it's coming, and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
They've done a really
Okay.
good job with this direct.
Absolutely.
Dr. Gamer Ali says, do you think all 4 of these games will be available physically? And so, okay, we have Doom, South of Midnight, the Ninja Gaiden, obviously the remaster won't be available physically.
No.
Ninja Gaiden 4 and
Expedition
which one did I
33.
forget? Expedition.
Claire
30.
Obscura,
Expedition is physical. I got that pre-ordered physically
Oh, cool.
for PS5, so I know that one's coming physically.
South
Doom will
and
definitely.
the remaster are the only 2, I think, really. Everything else will get physicals.
You think Ninja Gaiden 4 will?
Yeah, it has to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay. So
Absolutely.
everything except South of Midnight will get a physical, I would assume.
And I
Dr.
think
Gamer
that'll
Ali.
be their method moving forward. Unless somebody like a limited run or somebody reaches out to them and says, will you let us print your physical for like hi-fi and stuff? I think they don't really, because they don't care about physicals regardless, really. It's Xbox, for goodness sake. But there's no way Doom doesn't launch with a physical, because that's going everywhere.
Especially coming to PS5, yeah.
And with
And
Claire
that's what
coming to
Darian in the chat
PS5,
says.
that'll be getting a physical as well.
Interesting.
Yeah, you're right there with what Darian says in the chat. I think the ones going to PS5 are going to be physical. Yeah, that's probably good sound logic. If it's not coming to PS5 and it's a smaller thing, like Indiana Jones got a physical release on Xbox, but it was kind of a coaster. Hopefully, when that comes to PS5, it'll have all the content on the disc. I'm not necessarily expecting that, but that would be wonderful to have that complete. That way, you can play it offline in 1,000 years or whatever. But
I do want to reiterate just lastly, I know we're going to wrap up, one last point that I think does need to be mentioned, because we've lost a lot of this in this digital age of Xbox deservedly gets a lot of crap for all the layoffs. The last 2 years of studios, PlayStation, Xbox, everything, all the companies that have done that deserve crap for losing talent and hurting people and the people that are struggling with that stuff. But I do think they deserve credit for this, for really leaning into the human side of this. I only speak for myself, but it's so easy to look at a game that comes out, good, bad, or otherwise, and be like, yeah, it just gets made. But the human factor that goes into the creative visions that people, even on bad games, there are people putting their blood, sweat, and tears. So I do applaud them for doing that, where it's not just here's a trailer, but here's the people that are actually spending their lives to make something for you to play and enjoy. So I just think that needs to be mentioned in this world where we're losing that human factor.
I think it perfectly links into what Sven's speech was at the Game Awards. By you doing this as well, you can kind of suss out who and who isn't excited to be working on their projects. Every single person that they ended up interviewing and getting to talk, you could see that they were actually excited. There's something that they're proud to be working on and they want to show it. Because sometimes they've panned over to stuff like it and it has gone the other way, where you can kind of be like, you don't seem all that excited to be working on this. You can kind of feel that hesitation, or the pause between sentences, and they're trying to be like, man, how can I word this to make it sound appealing and stuff. But every single one of these titles shown, especially Expedition 33, you can tell that is their passion project. Absolutely.
It's weird.
great.
In the chat, Captain Corndog says Ninja Gaiden 2 Black is dropping on Steam, PS5, and Xbox for $50 today digitally. I thought it said only on Xbox for the remaster.
So what we can do is we should
you guys research that.
forward it.
I'll answer you while they're looking that up, Dr. Gamer Ali. I appreciate your kindness, but I'm not going to be restarting the Indie Gaming Guild. Trying to do that in 2025 and regrow a review channel would be an absolute nightmare, and I don't think I could handle that. But I appreciate your love and support, so I'll just be here with these blokes. So thank you, though.
Bear with me.
No, that's a good. That's a good.
There we go. This.
Although $50, to be fair, for a complete remake, I'm glad they're not doing the full price. That's actually a pretty solid price for a complete ground-up remake, if that is the case. But
I think this was the ending of the Black, right? This.
It was.
Yep.
They
that's the 4.
Yeah, it should be right around there. L. Walker says, to be fair, the reason companies are laying people off is due to overhiring during the pandemic. And while that's true, that's not an excuse. That shouldn't be a scapegoat. You're a business. You should look at that stuff of how to do it. Doesn't mean you should just be letting people go. I'm sorry. That's a scapegoat excuse. No, I'm not like pandering what you're saying, L. Walker, but it's true, but it's not a good excuse from a business perspective. You need to look at those ahead of time. So as a business.
So they said the whatever the black 2 is, console, PC, and Xbox Game Pass. So they said console. So they didn't say Xbox. They said console. So they were very, very specific with that wording. You cheeky little bastards.
That's so
I mean, they were pretty clear about like 99.8% of everything else. So thank you, Dr. Gamer Ali. I appreciate you. You're very kind.
Yep, that is available everywhere. But it's not 50 though for Black 2.
Yeah, but it's a complete remake. It's not just a remaster with a coat of paint. They've ground up remade the entire game from 17 years ago. So I mean,
I'm happy Game Pass exists because I wouldn't be throwing that 50 right now. I'm sorry.
I think I'm gonna pay the 50 because I ended up canceling my Game Pass. Oh no, I need to get my Game Pass back for Avowed. So I'll probably play it on.
Yeah, agreed, L. Walker. Agreed.
Yeah,
no one should lose their jobs. It sucks.
Well, I mean, there's certain people that should lose their jobs.
All right. Well, what I mean is people. All right. Well, okay. You know what I mean. You know what I mean.
If I was running the tech behind this, I should probably lose my job for the tech side of things.
Yeah, that's true. See ya.
Let's see. You guys think these limited print companies will play a big role on publishing these games? No, not at all. I don't think that there will be any limited print runs for anything other than South of Midnight, maybe. Everything else will be mass produced, I would assume. So you'll be able to pick it up at Best Buy and all that stuff.
I think for Xbox's side, they will lean on them a lot more. I think they will.
Right.
It could be in like a 5 to 8 year like span. They may not even like print physically their own even like bigger stuff because they just don't care for it. I think
you can play Xbox anywhere.
Yeah, I think that maybe in like 8 years we'll be having that conversation and being like, you know, they view it as like an optional extra where they launch like their console and the disc drive isn't there day one and it's something that you can buy as not day one. It's not there in the box as the base version. It'll be something that you buy as an accessory and stuff like that.
I have a question there for the next one. I don't think you'll have a disc drive at all for the next Xbox.
I have a question for you two, since you guys are obviously like the physical collectors and buy mostly physical for even new games. Do you think, and this is excluding things like limited run and super rare, because obviously they have to charge more, especially for like indies, but do you guys think if physical continue to stay around and somewhat of a big presence from the Xbox, you know, PlayStation, Nintendo, that physical games will end up costing $10 more than buying the digital counterpart? Do you think it'll go that way someday? Yeah. Like it'll be $80 instead of $70 for your new whatever game.
Did you want to kick it off or did you want me to?
Go ahead. I mean, I don't have a lot to add. I definitely think that'll happen.
So I think, especially with Xbox, if they want to get like that bad taste out of their mouth of with you saying like Indiana Jones is a coaster, right?
Yeah,
it's because they don't want to fork up. Sony have the patented like printing rights of the Blu-ray discs. That's why their discs hold more data. They own that. So if they wanted to actually fit all of Indiana Jones on, they would have to kick Sony money to a company they own and stuff like that. So they're reluctant to do that. And they also can't be asked to give us 2 discs as well. Yeah. So the way of bridging it would be turning around and being like, okay, if we're going to keep supporting physical, we're going to have to charge more. And I think, I mean, for me, I would be happy with that. Like, just come out and say it. Like,
right.
Why are they so afraid? You've done so many, like, shoot your foot in the moments in the past that you were happy to, like, come out and do. Like, I'd happily pay, like, $80 for a physical, knowing that it's a physical, everything on the disc, and you have...
Right.
You have, like, promised that and delivered that, then, yeah. $80, I'd be fine kicking that up. I know some people wouldn't be, but I'm saying for me.
But that's good. You have the choice, right? If you want to do it, you can. If you don't, you have the digital or whatever. What about you, Brandon? How do you feel? I know you said it, you think they will, but how would you personally go about that if that was the case or the reality?
I mean, I know I'm probably not the person to ask about this shit because I'm terrible with my money management when it comes to buying physical video games. But yeah,
because like $200, I'll give it to you guys. Just take it.
Well, I mean, okay, never mind. But did you see the the thing that came out yesterday or 2 days ago where a bunch of publishers in the industry are hoping that Grand Theft Auto 6 is $100 so that they can start charging $100 for their games.
Yep.
And people were like viciously just furious about this notion. And I agree. Like here's the thing I'd say to people is that if Grand Theft Auto 6 was sitting there on the shelf and you could buy it for $100, most people would, myself included. But here's the thing. That's not the conversation. People are upset at other publishers being like, y'all think y'all are going to get $100 for y'all shit? You think we're about to pay $100 for the next Madden or whatever? It's like, dude, no. We'll pay $100 for a game that took 12 years and $1 billion to develop, sure. But we're not paying $100 for
That's the thing,
NBA
though, isn't it, right?
2K26.
If Rockstar do that, they open the door. Because it's what
For
happened
sure.
with this generation when it went from 60 to 70 for base.
Yeah,
You
true.
have to have somebody fall on the sword and get that bad press. And if ideally you would want it to be GTA because it will counter that bad press with everything else. They won't feel that bad press like any other company would. So
Right.
that's why they're pushing this agenda. Like, man, you should be charging 100. That took a lot of effort, a lot of money to make, guys. Please, nudge, nudge. So that
Well,
they do that, and then every other game company and publisher that follows suit with that are like, well, they did it, and they can kind of use that as a minor shield, as they did with the 60 to 70 thing.
Well, and I think also is that like you see games are kind of being hurt in sales from that $10 price hike. New games aren't selling like they used to. A lot of new games aren't selling like they used to. So if that $10 price hike hurt, imagine what a $30 price, well, a $40 price hike technically from the 60 to the 100.
Yep.
So games would not be flying off the shelf. They're already not flying off the shelf. They would not be flying off. GTA 6 would still fly off the shelf. Sure. But that's not that won't be the standard, guys. I promise. If you want to chase that $100 trend, go ahead. Your company will collapse.
Yeah, that's a dangerous precedent to set. And I don't know. I think I look at this more cynically with Rockstar than maybe you two do. I really, really don't like Rockstar from their business point of view. I mean, they're going to try to spin it as like, oh yeah, it costs money to make games, which of course it does, obviously. But like, I'm sorry, I don't look past them and their up higher ups to be like, we're doing this because of our developers. Like, no, you're doing this because you're a greedy ass company that wants to charge people more money. So I look at that more cynically because I just actually really, really don't like Rockstar. I don't trust them from a business perspective. They're going to do everything they can to pull every dollar out of you versus making smart moves for their consumers. So sorry, I just get tired of like everyone shilling for Rockstar and be like, the next GTA is going to be the best thing ever. But it's like, they're a terrible company. They're just a terrible company for how they go about money stuff. So people just need to stop like bending knees to them also, because that's just pathetic. So sorry. I get tired of that. I really do.
Oh, I would happily say that I wouldn't fork up that 100. I know you
People
might
shouldn't.
do, Brandon. I think you
I
would
would.
end up doing it. I wouldn't.
But why? Because maybe I want to know why you would, Brandon.
It would be a couple things. Like if people were saying, yeah, it's on par with a Red Dead 2 or a GTA 5, then it's like, yeah, I'll pay $100. Well, and here's the thing is everybody's so different. I paid $100 for Dragon Ball Z Sparking Zero just to play it a little early. I paid $100 for NCAA 25 to play it a little early. It's like,
okay.
Hey, I'm not a good example for any of this shit.
The thing is, though, is that them versions you're playing are not standard editions, though.
That's true.
That's the different precedence. Is that what they would want to do is have every single vanilla 1.0 standard release be pushed to $100.
Yeah.
And that's so dangerous and destructive.
Yeah.
That would screw.
It's
so
dangerous more so for the company, for their company,
that's what I
than
mean.
it is for the consumer.
Yeah.
If they want to fuck themselves, go ahead and fuck yourself. But once again, Rockstar wouldn't be the one fucking theirself. They would kind of, in a weird way, be fucking everybody else, which that's the thing.
Yes,
that
because
sucks.
that's what I mean. They're the only people that would get away with it because people would pay up for that because in their mind they're the only ones that they would be happy to fork that 100. That's what I was talking about. They would break that door down and it would screw everybody else in the industry.
Yeah.
Because then they would turn around and go, "Oh, we can do that then," and then you would just see dust.
There's two good comments about this. L. Walker says if games go over £100, AAA will fall completely. Maybe not completely, and AA will take over. That's probably true. And Panda Grog probably brings up a good point about regional pricing, saying that gamers in other nations where regional pricing is different, like in Canada, 120, or like in Australia, like, yeah, it equals out in certain ways, but like, yeah, people would be even screwed more. I don't know. Rockstar needs to be taken down a notch. I'm sorry, with their finances, because yes, people would buy it, but maybe they do need to do that. And maybe people won't buy it as much as a normal price. And maybe they need to be taken down a peg or two, but I'm also biased. So sorry.
Why do you hate Rockstar so much? I mean,
because
just from the business standpoint,
because they're the only company that could make that money up with their crap online. Like they generate so much money, they don't need to justify that price hike.
I'm not saying they don't make good games. They do, but like, I'm sorry, they try to position from a PR side. They're like, we're for you as a player. We're making the best games. Yes, they do make good games. I'm not disagreeing with that at all, even if you don't like them. But them canceling all of their story stuff for GTA 5 because like we're getting all of our money from our live service crap. I get it. I get it logically. Don't pretend you're for players when you're not. You're not releasing patches to make your games up to standard because you want to release it 10 years later for $50 or whatever. Exactly. So I know a lot of companies do that, but Rockstar is the pinnacle that pretend that they care about you as a player when they don't give a crap about you. So stop
bending.
Wouldn't
you say Nintendo was probably the pinnacle?
Absolutely.
They're like right there.
They're right up there, but Rockstar is definitely far and above. So, but yeah, Nintendo's probably a close second. Yeah. Nintendo just has more options for games they make. Rockstar makes one game every 42 years, but Nintendo makes games more often.
So of course, you see Nintendo poke you, but I think the more damage is GTA than what's Nintendo's done as well.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Just the impact. That makes sense.
Anyway, sorry. I apologize. I don't mean to like go on those rants of it. There's just certain companies that I'm just tired of them pretending they care about you as a player when they don't. Stop pretending they do. So
I mean, none of them do. But
but people think they do.
Rockstar is the worst in terms of, or one of the worst. Just 2K in general. They're which is under the Take-Two umbrella, as is Rockstar. Yeah, maybe just Take-Two in general is they nickel and dime their players worse than probably any other EA. Yep. Yeah, absolutely.
Anyway, sorry for the rant there.
Yeah, man.
I don't like ranting.
That
was weird.
It's a damn good show, man. Damn good show. I can't really say that there was anything in there that I don't have notes for anything in there. You know, genuinely, like I don't know what any of these games could have done to sell me anymore.
That's what I was talking about, like early on, like because before we started, I was saying that we'd probably sit through the whole show and then like skim through stuff because you're expecting things to be glossed over and lost in translation, but they spent so much time on each title. They kind of did our job for us. They did what you should do with a showcase, but that's the thing. That's what you should be doing. You shouldn't have to, sit there and have to fine-tooth comb to be like, oh, okay, it's coming here, or oh, it's this, oh, it's that. Like, they spent so much time on each title. It was perfect.
Absolutely, dude. Yeah, I mean, the live streaming is fun as shit. Like, just kind of the rawness of it, just getting to shoot the shit back and forth with the chat, not really having any kind of notes taken or anything like that. It's just, this is so chill. So much less work. I know it's a lot of work for you, Loon, so thank you.
Thank you, Loon.
Thank you again,
Thank you, Loon.
Thank you, Loon.
Do you guys prefer moving forward with showcases in general from any company? Do you guys prefer then now seeing this Xbox One shorter showcases, less games, more time on games, or would you still rather have like 20 games in a trailer? For me, I'd rather have this for every company where they do the more human side of it. Where do you guys fall as far as like what you'd prefer out of a showcase from any company?
You have to have different things for different. You can't do something like this for a June like E3 style showcase because there's just too many games and you have to get all those shown. But could you maybe take out a few of those games that aren't going to release in the next 18 months and have a little bit more time spent with each developer? Probably. I think there's maybe a good middle ground, but I hate to sound like just capital C consumer, but load that shit up for me. Throw 50 of them bad boys in there. I love that stuff.
So you're part of the problem, okay?
I honestly, across the board, part of the problem.
But that's not completely true because you collect physical games, so you very much aren't really part of the problem because you actually want to keep games preserved and keep them alive. So I'm just messing with you. What about you, Lou?
No, I think I've been very vocal on Brandon's channel about it, like time and time again. If it's not releasing within a year of you showing it, don't show it. It's pointless. It's absolutely pointless to the consumer. It's pointless to the company and stuff because you end up in scenarios of like Silk Song. I know people are technically still excited about it, but then that dominates their mindset whenever they're going into any showcase, and then it leaves them disappointed every time it doesn't show up. So that just damages and damages. So I think, yeah, for me, I would like to see them 10 minutes per game would be my ideal world of 10 minutes, show plenty of stuff, because that allows you to cover, a little bit of talking with the developers. They can kind of speed it up a little bit and show all the aspects of the game and like wrap that up. And then I think, because them big summer showcases, they're over the span of like a few days, are they not? Right?
Yeah.
They go like weekends and stuff, Saturday, Sunday. So you can kind of
Do you
like
mean
you said,
the individual show or like the entirety of all of it?
Yeah, like all of it, like the whole thing
yeah.
going from like start to finish as a thing. So you can cut, like you said, anything that's not releasing in that year. It doesn't benefit from showing itself there anyway. So just keep your head down and give that light to other things that are going to be releasing in the next 6 to 8 months.
Yeah. It's tough because like with a big showcase and just the amount of specific PlayStation, I don't know if they're ever going to be able to have a showcase again. But like with Xbox, they have so many studios that are being so productive right now, where it's like when you get to a June, we have Fable, Clockwork Revolution, Outer Worlds 2, maybe the Oblivion remake, Psychonauts 3 potentially. Like you could just go Call of Duty, something new from Blizzard, maybe a new season for Diablo. Like it just goes, and it gets to a point where if you had 10 minutes per, we're already at 70, 80 minutes. You know what I mean? For just, and it's they're just too stacked at this point. That Xbox is loaded, and we're in a spot right now where they're so productive over there. Like there's no more of that weird mismanagement shit at all. These games are cooking, man.
Wouldn't you say though, then save the biggest stuff for them big showcases and just keep these kind of developer direct, those short snippy 4 things every few months for the next few months of release? Like that would be perfect, because then you don't need to bring, say, South of Midnight to these huge showcases, because you've already shown them, and because the turnover. Think of how because the thing I'm imagining is we were so excited when they showed us, holy shit, April, that's so close. If they came into this showcase and showed you 10 titles, the ones that are going to be shown and then be like April, and then you just get drowned with more and more and more and more releases, it kind of takes the steam out of that April release almost. Or the other side of like that, oh, that's so far away, I would much rather that be the April release and stuff like that. To have things be so direct and to the point with so small turnover, that to me, I'm hella excited now.
I think the only rebuttal would be that with a show like this, if you're given 4 or 5 games, what if you're not excited for any of those 4 or 5? That's kind of why you need the showcase as well, to pack in so much in there, such a wide variety of games, different franchises, different genres, yada yada yada. That's there. You're never going to watch a showcase that you come away from with nothing to be excited about.
Yeah, and that's kind of what Xbox hit the nail on the head this time, right? There was so many. There's no overlap from any of these genres, really, when you think about it. They're all doing very extremely distinct different things. You have a shooter, you have a turn-based RPG, you have an it's going to be a difficult action RPG with what do you call it? Ninja Gaiden, and then South of Midnight's going to be a lot more laid back. Like they're all, and that's what it falls upon Microsoft to make sure that they don't come to a thing where it's going to appeal to nobody. They need to make sure you have something for everybody. So if they can keep this ball rolling, absolutely.
Gentlemen, should we wrap this up so people can get about their day. Otherwise, I'm going to have to jet out in about 5 minutes to get to work, some other work stuff. But where do you guys feel? If you want to keep going, I'm going to leave. But otherwise, we should probably wrap this. It's been 2 hours. That's That's a good enough stream for everyone.
Yep. Sounds good. Loon, you good with everything? Anything else you wanted to hit on or anything before we dip out
we should
here?
be all good to wrap up.
Cool. All right, my people. Well, that was the Xbox Developer Direct 2025 live reaction. The first live reaction on the channel. Feedback is very, very welcome. We greatly, greatly appreciate any suggestions, tips, anything like that. Going forward, I think that we kind of seemingly had a clean run here, dude. Pretty clean run for our first reaction. So once again, Loon, all props in the world to you, my friend. Thank you so much. This is really, really fun.
Thank you, Loon. And thank you to everyone that tuned in. We had like a good flow of people in and out and some great chats. If we didn't get to some of your questions or comments, just bear with us. Again, we're trying to learn how to do this 3 people, so it just takes time. So if we didn't get to some of your stuff, it's not because we don't want to. We're just trying to figure out how to make this work with our system. So, but thank you guys. We really appreciate all of you. And I appreciate both of you, Loon and Brandon. So
absolutely. And we appreciate you, Mr. Jeffrey Sire. And we shall be back pretty soon, guys. So stay tuned, stick around, subscribe, like the stream if you could before you dip out of here to get it out to more eyeballs. And yeah, we'll see you good people very, very soon. Goodbye.